smell. He swept me off my feet.
I can get us back to where we were, Em. I promise. I can make that happen.
You remember this beautiful lady here?
Hi.
How have things been going with you?
I can finally sleep. I have some energy. We had sex.
Whoever makes this drug is going to be rich.
911, what's your emergency?
I need help. Someone's been murdered.
And I'm sure you're sick of me telling you this, but Road to Perdition is the greatest film of all time. I tell you every single time.
Yeah, you do.
It's the best film ever. And one of the most underrated films ever.
Yeah, it was odd. You know what? I saw one of those. I'm sure you had many over here too, but there were a lot of Bond specials in the UK.
Right.
And Sam had a kind of profile done on him, and I sat up one night and watched it, and I was really proud that he said that movie is one of the only movies he's made where he felt like everything he wanted to happen, everything he wanted to get, he got.
I completely get that. It's perfect. It is a perfect film.
You know, and there's an element to it that I really love is the music.
Oh, Thomas Newman's score is
beautiful
unbelievable.
score, and they use it a lot.
They do.
You know when they steal scores and they use it over
in trailers and stuff.
Trailers or football or whatever it might be, and they use that score a lot.
It's
the
rain scene. Oh, sorry, we're geeking out about Road to Perdition, but
that's right, the rain scene.
The rain scene. It's perfect. It's a perfect scene.
I'm glad it's you.
I'm glad
That's a good line.
I'm getting emotional. I'm getting all emotional with Jude. But you know, I love this movie, and I was interested. I was thinking about the fact that aside from pharmaceuticals, there are so many aspects of life that have side effects. So I was wondering, what is the worst side effect of being an actor?
Well, doing a job that you really love, and a job that, in a way, for me anyway, as a kid, I dreamed of being involved in. It comes with a kind of burden, like, because sometimes you also ultimately have to see it as a job and have to make decisions that belittle, if you like, something that you see as on a pure level, you know. And
do you have an example of having to do that at any point?
I can't give you an
We're
example.
just talking, Jude. It's just me and you.
I'm not going to give you an example of what film that was. But, you know, occasionally it's hard realising that it is just a job, because it's something that means an awful lot to me. I'm a huge film fan, and I always have been, and so I like the work to be pure.
Right.
Good question.
Rooney's
You
giggling
first?
over there.
You first?
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
You're gonna give a.
Worst side effect of being an actor.
There's a lot.
But if you had to pick the one.
The one?
The worst for me, or the worst for the people that I live with?
For you. No, I love that there are those options.
That's a great question. Let's see. For me, I don't know. Probably just like the whole business side of it. Like, I just wish we could just go and make stuff for fun and, like, you know, just be like, haha. But, you know, there is a business side that you have to be aware of, and it just kind of takes the fun out of it sometimes. You know, kind of coldens things up, you know, when you really have to make some decisions based on, you know, real hardcore, like, money things, and you're just like, ugh, this all of a sudden just feels gross. Like,
would you make a decision based off money?
Yeah, I think you have to at some point if you're going to be an adult. You know, it can't just be a, you know, in the wind hippie all the time, which I think we would all love to be, but yeah, sometimes you got to.
I wouldn't know anything about making decisions based on money. Talking to you back in Houston. So, anything?
Yeah, maybe I'm more of a hippie blowing in the wind. So for me, the worst side effect for me personally is probably because I'm so shy, like this whole part of it, when you have to go out and sell the movie and sort of like losing a little bit of your privacy.
Right. Well, now I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
Because I had all these personal
No,
questions.
you're so respectful.
I do my best.
Turn the sheet over, go to the opposite questions, go to the emergency questions.
Yeah.
There's been an incident.
What do we do? No sign of forced entry, no sign of struggle.
Where's her lawyer?
She doesn't have one. Just kept talking about you.
I don't understand why this is happening.
You know her?
But I love this idea, kind of one of the core themes of this movie, that you get into something and it doesn't turn out the way you think it's going to. So I was wondering, when you're an actor, sometimes you don't really know what the movie is going to end up being. So I was wondering, which project have you worked on that turned out the most different from what you ultimately thought it was going to be? You know I throw out these weird ones, man. You know I try to get you thinking.
I'm sure for me it's a movie that I just finished that I haven't seen yet.
Which one is
the
it?
Terrence Malick movie. I'm sure.
Oh, well.
I'm sure that'll be the one.
Yeah, how could you? There's not even a script, right? Like you're just like, you just kind of show up.
Yeah, that'll probably be the one.
I'm very anxious to see that one. I'm curious to see how that one's going to turn out.
Me too.
I think anything that I've worked on with Steven, really, I mean, you don't know going in, like what, because Steven will just be like, you know, you'll have a 6-page scene that you were gonna shoot, and you're ready, you know all your lines and everything, and you show up, and he's like, just go over there next to that fire hydrant and just walk to me, and yeah. All right, cool.
He keeps everything close to the
chest. And then you do that, and he's just like, all right, cool. Want to go get lunch? And and you're like, what we had, the scenes, and we're not going to do scenes? And he's like, no, we're good, don't worry about it. Or he'll just be like, I watched a movie last night that scene was in. It was terrible. We can't do that scene. And I'm like, well, there was some information in that scene that might need to be in the movie, so where else are we going to put that? Like,
wow.
Cool. Gosh, the most different. Well, I had a very interesting experience just last year doing my first animated film, and I had no idea how it was going to turn out as I did it. So I mean, it's a bit of a cop-out answer in a way because of course.
No, but
but going in over a period of 2 years for half an hour every 6 months, actually more than that, for an hour or two every 6 months. And committing your voice to a character that you barely know is a really unusual. It's like a shot in the dark. You know, you literally have to trust those around you that they are doing what
you were great in Rise of the Guardians, by the way. So it was great.
Would you have treated her differently if she was a man?
That's not what happened.
Em, what is going on?
I put her on a Blixer. I don't think you should be my doctor anymore.
I think she requires more observation.
Someone gets punished.
It's all gonna go away.
It's gonna follow you around forever.
I had no idea this was going on.
Stop! There were millions of dollars!
You've been lying to her, and he was lying to me. I would never be here if it weren't for you.
I always see a lot of interviews where actors talk about, oh, it was so great to work with this director again, and you get to know him, and you get the camaraderie.
Steven's really hard.
Yeah,
you're not going to get any of those.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. But I was wondering, I kind of want to ask it from a backward angle. What is the downside to working with a director that you've worked with before?
Downside, honestly, there isn't one. Because what's always interesting about stepping onto a new film set or another film set is that the director's quality is always going to be different. It's always going to be new. There can be familiar circumstances and familiar kind of moods, but on the whole, each director brings their personality to the project, and so you're kind of stepping into their realm, as it were. And if you've worked with them before, you know and are equipped to know, you know, their nuances and how and what they want to do with the project. For example, with Steven, I learned very quickly on the first film I did with him, Contagion, that you have to turn up ready, because he doesn't want to hang around discussing. He's open to discussion about any element of the film or any aspect of the film prior, but on the day, because he films it, he lights it, he's editing it in his head before he goes home and edits it at night. He wants to just get going. And so I knew on this one that I had to turn up having done all my homework, and if I wanted to ask him and question him about any angle, I had to do it before.
Interesting. Very interesting. Jude, I could talk with you all day. I'm glad it's you. It's such an honor, my friend. Always good to talk to you. You're a good guy.
I want my life back!
You know I'm not crazy. Everyone knows everything.
Em, are you awake?
Destroy that before it destroys you.